Aloha friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Anna and today we're making Pastelitos de Coco or coconut turnovers. These are flaky little pastries filled with coconut. They're a perfect little treat to go with your morning coffee. I'm Cuban and we eat a lot of pastelitos, especially for breakfast or if you need a little treat throughout the day. These are it. They're so yummy. This is actually bringing me deja vu because pastelitos de guayaba, guava pastries or turnovers was the very first recipe I uploaded here on YouTube. So I am bringing you today how to make the coconut ones because these are my second favorite. You could say you only need very minimum ingredients, which are your puff pastry. Like I buy mine in the frozen section of your grocery store. You're gonna find already made puff pastry. They come like this into little sheets. Very simple and easy. You're going to need some grated coconut and heavy syrup, a little bit of water and egg for the egg wash, and a little bit of flour because we got to sprinkle our board so nothing sticks. You're also going to need baking sheet with some parchment paper, and my oven's already preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So everything's ready for me to start making these pastelitos. They're so good. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to do is sprinkle our board with a little bit of flour because you don't want your puff pastry to stick, and you also want to thaw your puff pastry according to the package instructions. So I did mine at room temperature and it takes like about an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how hot your house is. So you want to get rid of this paper like that, and you have your puff pastry sheet just like this. With my pizza cutter, I'm gonna go all around the edges and I'm gonna make it as even as possible so you have some sort of a square. We're gonna sprinkle a tiny bit of flour all over the top because otherwise it's a little sticky and we do not want that. So with the same pizza cutter, I'm going to follow the lines that the puff pastry already has. So as you can see, there's a line here. So I'm gonna cut right down, and then there's another line here. I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna cut again in 4 pieces. These are pretty small pastelitos. If you want them a little bit bigger, by all means, make it bigger. So I have 12 little pieces here. And again, this doesn't really have to be perfect. I'm not very good at cutting squares, as you can tell, but it will work. So you want to go ahead and mix your egg with the water to make your egg wash. Okay, this looks pretty good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You want to brush some of the egg wash all around the edges of every single square. Once you have something like this, now it's time to add your coconut filling. So you want to add just a little bit right in the center. You don't want to add too much. I'm gonna get this one right here because it's about the same size. You want to press down and you want to grab your fork and you're gonna press down so nothing oozes out while it bakes. Now with a paring knife, I make a tiny little slit right there, and your pastelito is done. And there you have it, your pastelito. So you want to place it on your baking sheet, and you're going to continue the same process with the rest of your squares. These all look fantastic. As you can see, just try to make them, just try to make them as even as possible. I'm not good at making things even, but that's all right. I'm gonna go ahead and brush the top with my egg wash. This is gonna give it that beautiful golden color. And it's gonna make them really yummy. Okay, these look perfect. Now they're gonna go into my preheated oven 400 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. It will depend obviously on your pastry sheets and how hot your oven gets. So after these are done, I'll show you what they look like. The pastelitos just came out of the oven and they, as you can probably see, look wonderful. So nice and crispy. Be careful when you transfer them because they're a little hot, but look at these. They're just so beautiful and golden and crispy and flaky delicious. Now I'm going to let this rest for about 15 minutes. You want it to cool down a tiny bit before you eat them because remember that coconut, it's like in a sugary syrup. So it's very hot and you don't want to burn yourself. So I'm gonna let these rest and then I'll be right back for the taste test. These have already cooled down. As you can probably tell, I already took a little bite of one, honestly like half of one, but I'm telling myself it was like for picture purposes, but let's do this again. It's so good. They look and taste like they just came out of a bakery. There's absolutely nothing else I can say about these. These are pretty small, so I told myself I could eat two because they're small, you know what I mean? Get the written recipe on my website. You would always find a direct link to it in the description box to my blog. There you will find the recipes for all of the recipes I already shared here on YouTube. So make sure you give it a try. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.